Alrighty, what's going on, guys? It's Ohm from Dark Hours Bright Futures. We're back. Been a little while. We had to take some time off for some things, figure things out, but we're back and we're ready to drop some more knowledge. I'm gonna tell you why we haven't been, or at least me on my end, and why I haven't been keeping up with the bargain of uploading. Our first episode had a bunch of goals in it, but basically I'm gonna give you one of the reasons today of why we haven't been sticking to that promise, and why I haven't been able to stay consistent in my recent set of years. So personally, when it came to YouTube, my career, my relationships, my health, my well-being, I was making progress, but I wasn't making progress like I thought I would. So, I was making small amounts of progress in every which way, but it wasn't translating. It wasn't, going anywhere basically. And why you should never compare yourself, I was looking at others and I was looking how they were achieving their goals, all the realistic set of checkpoints that they were setting for themselves. They were reaching them, but I wasn't. And there is one main difference between people who make large amounts of progress and people who don't make that much progress and make just small amounts. And if you're in the same boat as the situation I described prior, it's because you have too many priorities. And this isn't your fault, because social media has conditioned us into thinking that, everything's possible. You have people getting good grades, running six-figure businesses, they have their relationship figured out, they're spending time with family, they're going on podcasts, they're doing all this amazing stuff. But that's just their highlight reel. We don't get to see what they've gotten rid of, what sacrifices they made. We just see their highlight reel, like I said, and we think that they can do it all. But what did they have to give up? Probably they had to give up all the mutual birthday parties that they go to and they don't even know the person, all the missed meetings, all the missed events, all the missed coffee talks, and they had to say no to their face. When someone asked them, yo, can we hang out? They had to say no to their face. Favors that they had to decline. They got rid of, and as Greg McEwen says in his book Essentialism, they got rid of the trivial many for the vital few. They filtered out what had an immediate benefit to their life, and quite frankly, what didn't matter to them or wouldn't contribute to their long-term goals. And instead of saying yes, no became their default answer. I want you to think about all the stuff that you've done recently in the past week or month, and think about all the things that probably didn't have to happen, or things you didn't have to go to, or favors you didn't have to do, and just overall think about how much of what you've done was necessary. How much of it contributed to where you wanted to be in life, distract you from your long-term goals, or just only provide short-term gains and make you feel good in the moment. And I know what you're thinking, relationships don't matter. Won't I lose the respect I have from others by, not doing their favors and not doing what's asked of me? If I miss events and meetings and not be that person that everybody can depend on? Relationships do matter, don't get me wrong, but you don't have to go to every hangout, every small talk, and just seek every opportunity to be with people. Instead, you should be more intentional. See people when you need a break, and that means, being realistic with yourself and knowing when you actually need the break, or lifting up people when they need it. And friendships don't need to be frequent. It's the depth of the friendship that matters, not the frequency. And the depth is what creates meaning and value for these friendships. If you have a great friend that, wants to see you grow and, supports you, you shouldn't have to see them 24/7. You should be able to support each other from a distance and know that you guys still care for each other and still want the best for each other. And then when you guys meet up again, the friendship can just pick up where it was left off. And to the respect concern, you saying no will actually have the opposite effect. You will gain respect because it shows you that you have a sense of standards and that you can filter out what's not necessary to you. And, you value your time and you're on a mission that you won't let things get in front of. During the school year, I had a lot of club events and they needed food to be picked up for it. And the day of, nobody would volunteer to pick up the food, and I ended up being that guy who would always say yes and be like, hey, I can provide the food, I can go pick it up. And as a result, everyone started coming to me asking if, within 2 hours nobody responded. I finally sat back and asked myself, or why is everybody declining the opportunity to pick up the food, and why does it have to be me? But everybody else was prioritizing school, and they were keeping that 1 to 2 hours that I was losing on the food pickup. And lo and behold, they were staying ahead in school. So just a lose-lose situation for me. So I had to start saying no, because if I didn't prioritize myself, someone else would prioritize my life and my resources. And when I started to say no, people started to respect my time and only ask me for things if I was direly needed. You also may be thinking that making trade-offs is actually negative, but unfortunately it is a part of life and it needs to happen. If I didn't trade off contributing to someone else's needs, by the way, I wouldn't even know these people in 1 to 2 years time, because once we're out of college and I'll probably never ever talk to them again. If I didn't trade that for school time, then I would be trading away my career options and my grades for some quick satisfaction and quick sense of accomplishment. And it would, obviously feel good in the moment, but would suck later on when I miss out on all these career opportunities. The more you filter and remove the unnecessary things in your life, the more time you make for things that do matter, and things that you can put your energy into, expand on, and make progress in. So how do you filter out the unnecessary? You can just make a list of all the things that go into your calendar, and then you can just identify the ones that don't add to your long-term goals and only provide short-term gains or just are distractions. And then you can just start off small. Start picking off 1 to 2 things that don't add to your life, and just say 1 to 2. Sorry, that was a school bus. Practice saying no to 1 to 2 things per week, or also delete 1 to 2 things off your schedule. And that way you can slowly prioritize your priorities, and also make room to ponder, make room to create, make room to explore. And with that being said, take time to figure out what's important to you, what drives you, and don't get more things done, but get the right things done. And that's all I had for you guys today. Definitely a new form of content aside from the podcasts, but this is my first time talking to a camera in my car without having, with a script, because the other ones, other unfiltered videos were just no script. So this is definitely a new way of recording videos, but just be patient with us. We'll get better at it, and we'll see you in the next one.